Live from Kellogg, it's a special case of the Mondays. Starring David Riche, Jane Saetent from Special K, featuring Divya Reddy, Chris Eggemeyer, and me, Christopher Marshall. Musical guest Jeff Docherty, and your host, Dean Hannafy.
Welcome, welcome, Kellogg family. It's great to be with you. Good morning, everybody. And as you know, it's been about 6 weeks since you all came back to school, and all the endless suffering and excruciating pain since I became your Dean of Student Life and Operations. And I know I hardly got to meet any of you in person before COVID took over, so you might be wondering, how do I spend my days? So I thought I'd give you a little glimpse into what do I do? So I wake up bright and early every morning to the sound of birds chirping outside my Lakeview home. Then I pour myself a cup of coffee and get settled into my work nook. Next, each and every morning, I get on a Zoom call, and it's an opportunity for me to learn from everybody in our community. Next, I take a break at lunchtime for a healthy lunch and take my dog for a walk. I keep my energy up by eating that healthy lunch, and then it's back to tackling the new and exciting challenges that come at me every day. Sometimes it's hard to choose between my favorite group, my fellow deans, our happy alumni, or our amazing students, or my top-notch staff. After a quick dinner, I like to spend a few minutes getting caught up on my email. Of course, I wouldn't be a brave leader if I didn't take some time to reflect on all the challenges we've overcome as a community over the past quarter, and to think about how bright our school's future will be. Yes, I'm hoping for that vaccine as soon as possible. After all that inspiration, I settle in for a good restorative sleep, excited to wake up tomorrow and start all over again. Of course, I wouldn't have it any other way, and seriously, thank you all for hanging in there and making the best of this situation.
Thanks, Dean Hannafy. And speaking of the best, Special K is taking over! I'm David.
And this is Jane.
And we're members of this year's Special K cast. One of the few constants in these COVID times has been a little ray of sunshine that beams into our inboxes each and every morning.
Do you mean the Canvas notifications?
No, I mean Daybreak. Today, we're joined by the woman behind the newsletter, the 2019-2020 Daybreak Editor-in-Chief, Divya Reddy. So Divya, what's it like being a Kellogg journalist in a time of crisis?
Well, we really leaned into our strengths here, finding great stories within our community and, of course, continuing to have a very discerning eye for the very best gifts out there. But in all honesty, it's been a bit of a challenge, but also really rewarding to continuously keep a pulse on how we're doing as a wider community. Use that to adapt so that what we're putting out there is still really relevant and more than likely going to help you start your day with a smile.
Any wisdom to share as a second year about to graduate?
Ooh, so I feel like we hear a lot about being intentional, which is great. But for me, and I'm not sure if this is really wisdom per se, but I'm a big believer in making sure that you go after anything you're genuinely really excited about, even when it seems a little out there and especially when it doesn't really fit. It seems like if you do that, it all somehow magically fits together and you're that much happier and way more interesting.
Cool. And since we're from Special K, Divya, what do you like the most about Special K, the most loved musical group in Kellogg?
Well, first, can I just say how impressed I am that you guys have reimagined the whole show in a matter of weeks? And then also love the creativity and the wit and the talent and the fact that you guys seem like you're always having the best time rather. And I'm hoping those are enough compliments so that we can get control of Daybreak back tomorrow too.
Thank you so much. Divya, one last question. What are you doing to make sure everything is fine?
So I'm really just following my cat's lead on this one. They seem to always think everything is just fine.
Thank you so much, Divya, for your time and for joining us today. Folks, make sure you check out today's Daybreak edition and stay tuned as we have a special surprise for you towards the end of today's programming.
David, do you know what I think? We are completely fine, but sometimes we forget that our fur friends are also affected by COVID-19.
Huh, you're right. To tell us what canines everywhere are thinking about during the pandemic, it's time for a pup date. Let's connect to our special correspondent in the field. Chris, hit it!
Thanks, Dave. I'm here with Jasper. And Jasper, how are you feeling today? Interesting. And Jasper, tell me, do you have any thoughts about the potential meat shortage? You know, I was thinking the same exact thing. Now, lastly, Jasper, for all those people out there, all those humans who are struggling in this difficult time, do you have any advice? Sage words. Back to you guys.
Well, that's Jasper, everybody, and Jasper is completely fine.
Wow, thank you so much for that pup date. It was really informative. Now, let's switch gears to something we all care about. Sports!
Well, I think you know there are no sports. I've resorted to challenging my neighbors in foot races in the street. I'm currently undefeated, so if you want some, you know where to find me. At least the champion Kellogg intramural soccer team will get another year hanging in the gym. We'll start with hockey. No one cares about hockey, but since the sport's biggest moment of the decade came on a show not as funny as this one, let's do that hockey. Stay warm out there. Next up, baseball. They're apparently trying to start back up in July with the Blue Jays playing at their spring training facility, which will immediately make them the most popular team in Florida. They're also thinking about banning spitting and high fives. I'm not sure you can even call it baseball at that point. Now for the NBA. I'm not sure they'll be coming back this year, which would mean the Warriors have the best odds of getting the #1 overall pick, which seems fair. But there is some justice in the world. Since The Last Dance gave us 10 hours of pure basketball joy. It means Nike will never stop making retro Jordans, which I love, and a new generation of fans will see Jordan as the GOAT and LeBron as the fraud he is. And for the NFL, there's going to be a season. I mean, it's football. But if there was any question that Tom Brady was the GOAT of the NFL, he still managed to get the headline during a global pandemic, giving us the biggest free agency move ever and bringing the current WWE champion and second most recognizable player in the league out of retirement. In your face, New England, from the rest of us. Bottom line, the NFL is completely fine.
Wow, that was completely fine.
David, do you know what's truly fine? Taking classes at home, the direct access to the bathroom between classes.
And I'm saving so much money by not eating sushi at the marketplace every day.
And I just love taking Zoom classes from bed.
And Jane, please tell me you went to the biggest party of the year.
Is that Cap?
No, the ski trip reveal party.
Oh, I must have been too busy baking brownies. But everything is fine.
Oh, well, on that note, on behalf of Special K, I'm excited and honored to introduce you to this year's show theme. Kellogg, are you excited? I hear it downstairs.
So we are so excited to announce the 41st Special K Review presenting the Kellogg School of Management is completely fine.
Everything is fine!
And we are hoping to see you on this day. If you think everything was completely fine before, wait until the show on the May 30th.
Yeah, 7:30 p.m. sharp. Try not to be late. And now, back to our host, Dean Hannafy.
Thank you, David. Thank you, Jane. Thank you, Christopher and Chris Eggemeyer. Divya, thank you for jumping in. Hope you guys have a great week. It's been fun to connect with everybody again. And I'm going to ask Jeff to please play us out again. Have a great week, everybody.